Okay, so looking at fuel consumption, every car uses some sort of fuel, whether it is diesel or petrol or gas, and the usage of that fuel is normally expressed, in how many litres that you use for 100 kilometres. There are a lot of things that affect how much fuel your car uses. If you have a larger car, it's going to use more fuel than a smaller car. If you are driving in heavy traffic every day, so you're stop, start all the way to the city, you're going to use more fuel than if you just sit on the freeway and have your cruise control on. The road quality affects how much fuel you use. If you're driving on a nice smooth blacktop, you're going to use less fuel than if you're on an unsealed road, or if you're four-wheel driving, it's going to require more fuel to get you over the same kilometres. Having your engine tuned can make a difference to how much fuel your car is using. The type of fuel, so some diesel is more fuel efficient, so we use less, a little bit less fuel. The driving style, if you're one of those people that as soon as it says go, you put your foot flat to the floor, accelerate straight to the speed limit, and then brake really quickly, you are going to use more fuel than someone who takes off smoothly and gives themselves plenty of time to stop. So your driving style can change how much fuel you'll use. Your tyre inflation, if your tyres are a bit flat, then you're actually going to use more fuel to move your car. It's going to take more effort for your car to be moving on the road. If you tow something, of course, it makes more sense that if you are towing a trailer or a caravan or something, you're going to be using more fuel. And turn the air conditioning on. So the air conditioning will use a bit more fuel as well. So all these things affect how much fuel your car uses. So when you buy a car, they will tell you the advertised fuel consumption as litres per 100. So it might say, I think the advertised in the i30 is 6.5 litres per 100. But if you're someone that's driving in heavy traffic and you're accelerating fast and decelerating fast, you don't get your engine tuned and your tyres are a bit flat, you're not going to get 6.5, okay? So, boys, so a lot of these things affect how much your car uses. So we're going to look at a little example. We're going to look at an i30. We're saying that it has an ideal fuel consumption of 5.2 litres per 100 kilometres. So that's really low compared to something like a big four-wheel drive, travelling off-road, pulling a camper trailer might get 16 litres or 100. Pretty big. Oliver. So part A says, how much fuel would you use to drive 978 kilometres? So we know that we have 5.2 litres for 100 kilometres, and we want to know what's going to happen on 978 kilometres. Any ideas on how we'd start this question?
Find out how much fuel per kilometre.
Fuel per kilometre? Yep, that could work. There's an easier way.
I reckon you go 5.2 over 100 times 978.
Yep. So 5.2, that's exactly what Kane was saying. So 5.2 over 100 times 978, that will give you the correct answer. The way I kind of think about it in my head is that 978 is 9.78 lots of 100 kilometres. So I would just do 5.2 times 9.78. That's exactly the same as what you just said, divide that by 100 and then times it by. Okay, gets you the same answer. So how much fuel do I use? Maybe 5.2. So that's how much fuel you'd use for 1 kilometre times by 978, and we've got the total fuel that we would use.
Like 60?
So 50.9 litres. Okay, so to travel 978 use 50.9 litres. Okay, part B. It's really simple. We're told that the fuel costs are 153.6 per litre, and we're just working out the cost. Now, the only thing you've got to be careful of is that fuel is always expressed in cents. Okay, but we don't want to give our answer in cents. We want to give our answer in dollars to 2 decimal places. So when I'm working out how much fuel, I want 50.9 litres times by the cost. In dollars, that would be 1.536. So I've converted it to dollars. Boys, it's enough chatter. And you get $78.20. Remember, it's money, so you must put 2 decimal places. I don't want to see 78.2. We do not write it like that. You must put 2 decimal places. Pardon?
Would you get marked down?
Absolutely. If you put 3 decimal places, that's also wrong. You must always have 2 decimal places for money. Okay, no exceptions. Part C. How far could you travel on a tank of fuel if you have 35 litres in a tank? So I have a pretty small tank on an I-30. I've already got 35 litres. How far can I go? Any ideas?
Probably around about 450 kilometres.
How are you going to actually work it out? I'm going to go, oh, about that.
Doesn't matter, just wait till the fuel light comes on.
Wait till the fuel light comes on. I want to calculate, because obviously
Press
if you need...
display on the steering wheel and it pops up.
Yeah, we did that.
Okay, see, I do not have a display that pops up how many kilometres to go.
You
How
just
am I
watch it,
gonna-
you're going to go down. You get there when it's on empty.
Let's mathematically calculate.
And you hit the reserve tank.
You do...
There's no reserve tank on an I-30, alright?
Wait, what's it? 35 litres.
So we've got 35 litres.
Oh yeah, we got...
Quiet. So what I want to know... Quiet. So instead of wanting to know how many litres per kilometre, I want to know how many kilometres you get per litre, don't I? So I want kilometres per litre. So what can I do here to make that kilometres per litre instead? Swap it round. Okay? So instead of saying 5.2 per 100, it's going to be 100 divided by 5.2. Does that make sense? So I'm just swapping these around. So I'm going to get 100 kilometres for 5.2 litres. To make that 1, I simply divide by 5.2. Girls. Which gives me 19.2 kilometres per litre. So once I have my rate as per litre, it's a really easy question. I just multiply that by 35. What do we get for that one? Okay, year 11. So we've travelled 673.1 kilometres. Now the last question, quiet. So part D asks us to change our fuel consumption rate a little bit. This time, we've gone 21 litres for 350 kilometres, and we're trying to work out how far we go on a full tank this time. Remember, we want kilometres per litre. So we still want kilometres per litre, but this time we're using these numbers. So we've got 350 kilometres for 21 litres, which would be what?
Oh, it'd be around 20.
It's 16.7. So can you see, guys, Oliver. So we've travelled 16.7 kilometres. Because it was an unsealed road, we've gone less distance for 1 litre of fuel because our car's working harder to travel on the unsealed road. Once we have this, we again just multiply by 35 to see how far we travel. So on a full tank of fuel, you travel less distance on an unsealed road than you would on a sealed road. All right, your turn to try some questions. Exercise 805, page 361. Let's go.